peace in Palestine. Just a little bit of background. I've worked in housing and homelessness for over 10 years and I do it at a senior level. There's nothing more interesting than hypocrisy, right? So we got a situation where the Labour homelessness minister happens to be our landlord, and oh my gosh, she actually increased the rent. Now, I've seen articles along the lines of, isn't she a bad person, brackets evil, forever increasing the rent, and look how much the property is worth. Like, that's relevant. Now let's change this situation, right, to something more realistic. Say if you, whoever's watching this video, let's just say that you've got somewhere that you can rent out, and let's also assume that you would rent it out to make some money, right? Most people are going to rent it out for, guess what, market rates. And if you're going to keep it at £100 instead of the market rate of £500, would you need a very good reason? It'd have to be friends or very close family, right? Would you give that person the opportunity saying, listen, this is what the market rent is, that's what it's going to go up to. Can you afford it, yes or no? And then if they can, then it's happy days. You're getting your market rate. You're not selling it over. You're not selling it below. You're selling it at what their property's worth. And if they can afford it, then they will. And if they can't afford it, then the reality is they need to go somewhere else that they can afford. What I find most interesting is this holier than thou perspective that most people, including landlords, don't want the full price for their property.
Of course.
And bizarrely, one of the other comments is, well, obviously I can't be a Labour person now because the homeless minister is actually a landlord. Like, that makes sense. Like, most of the Tories haven't been landlords for years and they don't pay into vested interest. So you'll pay into that trickle down, the rich get richer, whilst the poor people pay proportionately more tax. But those same people can't have a Labour minister who's also a landlord who would do exactly the same thing that most people who are landlords do, which is charge market rent. But when Labour supporters get down on themselves in this self-righteous indignation, which means we are basically at war with ourselves on a principle of stupidity, handing victory to the other side on some bullshit. You know the drill. The full video that I've just talked about is going to be round about here towards the bottom of the screen if you're on a mobile. Otherwise, the link's going to be in the description or the comments.